Dab up in the hizzy. Yay. Now,
so what's the issue?
Now, first off, before we touch upon this issue, let me just backtrack a little bit. Back to gun control for 2.5 seconds. We got another message saying that we don't want to go back to the days when it was like the cowboys and had guns, and if they didn't like you, they would, they would shoot you dead. And
Or challenge you.
Or challenge you. And also, we don't live in a militia society like Iraq or Iran, where everyone has guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Obama and Geithner, my bad.
Really?
Who don't know what they are doing. Oh, wow. Well, we don't have a fan of Obama, and honestly, you know what? I voted for the guy, and I'm not really a fan of him right now, but we'll get back into that later on in the show. Back to 24 and the whole topic of torture. I personally think that if you had to do the necessary things in order to maintain security for the country, and you had that gray area of morals and values and etiquette, then maybe I would be able to do such things in order to save, like a state or our country from like a nuclear bomb or something like that. Nobody really wants bad things like that to happen, and unfortunately, things are getting rougher and times are harder. We usually discuss economic hardship here, and we're going to try and stay away from that. But you know what? All these things kind of contribute to what's going on in the world and why people are angry why other countries are angry at our country. Any thoughts on that, Ty?
Wait, are we going into why other countries are angry, like in regards to 24?
Let's just talk about 24
Okay.
for now.
I think pretty much the main underlying statement with 24 is government corruption, and I feel like it's kind of like a futuristic statement kind of thing where right now we know that there is government corruption, but what happens when it gets to the level that you see it at 24? What can we do to defend ourselves from it? And I think that's kind of where they're going with the whole, how far would you go to uncover the truth and save ourselves?
It's very interesting because every season of 24 usually actually maintains some form of reality of what's going on in real life, in reality. And this season, I don't know if you've been watching it, but not to give a but it happens to be showing a lot of corruption at all levels of government.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of disturbing because that's what's been coming out in the news and the media for the last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like our boy,
Which one?
You know who?
Are you talking
Blagojevich.
Oh, yeah.
Blagojevich,
Madoff,
Madoff, everyone.
Elliot Spitzer.
Spitzer.
Even as your father was saying, Tim Geithner, our Treasury Secretary.
Yeah, it's I find that kind of scary because that's showing us where we probably already are, but we don't realize this stuff.
Yeah, we really have gotten to a situation where, as Dan has been saying week after week, these politicians are like wrestlers. They go out and put on a show, but meanwhile they're all involved in the same corruption behind the scenes. And it's pretty scary, and you guys have kind of been alluding to it over the past few weeks, and maybe I'm coming around to seeing it more now.
Yes! Yes! That's what we're talking about. We are reforming you to become what we are. And that's what we do.
Moderate, independent, realist.
And that's what we do here at Psycholitiks, okay? We tattoo your brain with our ideologies.
It's beautiful.
I think the goal was more to help people just understand.
Well, you know what?
But
you know what? Like the human race, we have evolved.
Right, but you know what? At this, Ty, going with what you're saying, your goal was to just inform people. Yet, it's funny because it was kind of something that we talked about in a previous episode. How we can tell society one thing and they still believe another. The only way to actually get your point across is to, like Justin says, tattoo it in their minds. People are so susceptible to ideas that you tell them something and they believe it. So I guess if we want our point across, we have to tattoo it in their brains, and we have to say, like, this is right, this is what we all should be doing, so let's do it.
Right. Like you're saying, we've heard so many falsehoods over and over in our lives, and to change people's minds on it, we've got to, as Justin would say, tattoo their mind with the truth over and over again.
Absolutely. Justin, any thoughts or comments?
I think that I'm happy to see things my way.
I've always seen things your way.
Oh, thank you. Dan?
I just think it's important to not trust anybody
Hi.
and just honestly go out of your way to look for yourself. If you like the way someone thinks about something, look at them, read about them, see if they're credible, and then draw your own conclusion. Don't just believe what someone unique says. You got to go and research all sides. That's what I think. That's where I get all the truth from.
I love it when you talk like that, Dan.
Really, only a great mind like yours is capable of that.
That's why he's taking your spot. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We've done this every week. I'm used to it by now.
I know. But you know what? It's that where we are just gonna have to bring this topic back up in the next 2 minutes. So everyone just stand, hold on to your seats, and it's gonna be a wild ride.
Stand clear of the closing door.
Yes. We'll be right back.
Want to party on
Alright.
campus and listen to all your
Alright.
favorite DJs play
Cool.
your favorite music? Come join OWW.
Alright, you guys have any ideas for relationship stuff?
Thursday from 7 to 9
Uh,
p.m.
Can
just bring it
how
up
do-
because
You
we do that like in the
do
fourth
it.